Akodash. Double honors unto my apostles and others of great millstone. Peace and safety to all the sincere Akim that's out here pushing his word in truth and in all sincerity. And shalom. And pray that this lesson is edifying to the hopeful elect. Because that's what it's all about, man. We're coming down to the end of this, man. And I remember years ago, Elder Apostle Ricard was teaching on the highways and hedges. I think he was here teaching with us. This was a long time ago, though. And he had made a mention about, he was using the biblical names of the nations. I think he was speaking about Moab. And he was like, hey, if you don't know, yo, chill out back there. All right. Salakia is a school crossing. All right. If you don't know these things, you got to catch up. So it gets to a point where through the Spirit, a lot of you people, you got to catch up to what's the vibe, what's really going on. You got to catch up to our, as Jake would say in the world, our lingo. All right? Because this things is happening fast, man. It's happening fast. We don't got time to play around with. Now we're teachers. We're ready. The scriptures say be ready to give an answer. But at the same time, you can't proceed in this either from an element of, if you are coming into this thing and this is the end, you got to catch up. You know what I'm saying? You got to know what's really going on in these breakdowns and know the prophecies of what's really happening. All right. So I want to, like you said, go into what you see the title. All right. All out war could break out before the Passover. I'm just going to say that. All out war, through the Spirit, all out war could break out before the Passover. All right. Now, I don't have an exact date of the Passover yet to share, but we know that the Passover is 14 days after the first new moon of the year, which brings in the spring. Okay? So we could see within the springtime. That's what I'm saying. By the springtime, through the Spirit, all our war could possibly break out. And like Elder Apostle Tahar said in, I can't remember the title, but in one of his videos he did recently, he does a lot. He spoke about, hey, we got to, keep an eye on what's going on. Oh, the least of the flock shall draw them out. That was the video the apostle did. And in the video, he, at the end, if you caught it, he spoke about the fact that through the Spirit, if all out war breaks out, we got to keep an eye on this. But if it breaks out like that, understand that this chip could be here. This chip could be here in a matter of months. And then after that, this thing could happen fast, man. That's another thing the apostles say, man. When this thing happens, it's going to happen fast. Like I said, I'm driving, so I'm going to quote the scripture to the best of my ability. But it makes me think of Isaiah, the 30th chapter. It says that it's the iniquities of this place shall be as a breaching wall. So imagine when a dam is about to break, holding that water. It don't fall a little bit like a little patch fell here and this water. No, that water starts to flowing. It cracks it more. And next thing you know, it ain't no dam. It's out the way. Understand? So when this place crumbles and falls, that's why scriptures say the hour of temptation, meaning a short span of time. Because when this thing falls, it's going to fall fast. You've never seen. Think about it. Like I said, I'm in the Spirit, but I don't have my sword open. I'm driving, but I could quote it. All right. When you read the book of Malachi, the first chapter, it tells you that Edom, the Lord hateth Edom, and though he buildeth, right? Though he buildeth, the Lord shall throw down. Now, if you know anything about building, the building takes way longer than the destruction. It might take years for certain structures to be built. But then a few sticks of dynamite, a few, crowbars, hammers, can knock that shit down in a matter of days, if not hours, if not minutes. So when this place starts to fall, it ain't just gonna fall a little, it's not gonna fall softly, man. Scriptures say I beheld Satan falling as lightning. That's why I said this thing is happening fast, man. Matter of fact, just part. I'm not gonna make this too long, but I do want to hit that scripture. All right. Just hit a few scriptures real quick. All right. Let's see. Malachi. Give me 1 second. You know, people be nosy. See. Eve, man. You be nosy. I'm just trying to read the scriptures and it's like, but y'all know how to do when y'all do these car videos, man. Sorry, let me get back to this, man. This is Malachi 1:3. And it says, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. And that's what he did. When he came out of them caves, after, during the Renaissance period, right? Give or take the 1300s on up. This has all been him rebuilding. All right. Remember, he was the ruler of the when you go into the vision of Daniel of the statue, right? Esau is the major portion. He's damn near the bottom half. All right. He's the Greeks, right? He's the Greeks, and then the Greeks fell and was overtaken by the Romans, right? And then when he fell, after what? You had the 12 Caesars going into 2nd Ezra, the 11th chapter, when those feathers were all plucked, all right? Then you had the pagan Roman Empire fall. And then what else happened from there? You had then that's when Jake took over, but Esau was out of power. So Esau fell. And then from there, it leads on to him basically being pushed out into these caves. So that's my point, is he had his point where he fell. And what we're witnessing here is him rebuilding his stature into the world, going all the way back to the 1300s. All right. So again, give me a second. Same Eve. Man, oh man, oh man. Hey, but like I said, so it says, thus saith, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the borders of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. So we got to remember that the Lord prophesied this to the prophet Malachi, that he would build up, but the Lord would throw it down. So we're in a time of the throw down, okay? All right. So again, let's get back to the subject matter. I want to, focus in on the war part. All right. All out war could break out between now and the spring. Why do I say that? Because one, you got to remember, we're about to go through the fall. We're in the fall now. As of September the 23rd, we entered the fall. So now we're in fall, working towards the winter. And then the winter comes. A lot of wars aren't really fought in the winter months. Now, does that mean that these people fighting right now will just put all their differences to the side and say, hey, see you see you February, nigga? No, that could very well not happen. They could really just keep continuing, but there's a spirit to war. All right. Now we got to remember that Esau deals with left hand magic and witchcraft and stuff. Now, most of all your wars that have ever been fought on the planet Earth break out in the spring. That is why I say all out war could be broken out come the Passover, because the Passover brings in the spring. All right, 8144. And when I did the search yesterday, right, just a basic generic search, I said, how many days are we from March 1st? Because like I said, I don't have an exact date of when the Passover is, but I just said it's somewhere in there. It could be give or take the end of February. It could be a week or so in March. You get what I'm saying? It could be in that space. It just depends. I can't say off the top of my head, and I won't right now. But from yesterday, October the 9th to March the 1st, we're 144 days away from that point. Okay, so again, like I say, and this is all that's just my own opinion. I'm not saying that part is not biblical. I'm not saying that. What I'm speaking to is that we are about 144 days away from the spring. All right, and in the spirit, spring is when wars break out. That is when wars break out. So there's a high chance that we could see all out war by the spring. Now, when you think about March is the month that is named after the Roman god Mars. Okay, the Roman god Mars. And you know what, me and the brothers here, we might have to revisit this because we did a lesson years ago about the Isles of March, which goes into the fall of the Roman Republic, which Julius Caesar, where I think I'm correct, I could be wrong, where it went from the Roman Republic to the Roman Empire, or one way or the other. Because this is where you get the story of Julius Caesar and Brutus, where all the Caesars murdered Julius Caesar. And the high priest of Julius Caesar told him at the beginning of that month that he was going to die on the 15th, which, like I say, March Madness. There's a spirit to March. There's a war spirit to March because this month goes into the god of Mars. Okay? So let's get a few more scriptures. All right. Let's go to, what do I want to read? I have a few in my head. I'm just trying to see which direction I want to go with war, because our brother just shared. Oh, that's what I wanted to speak on as well. You got to remember, how did the Roman Empire fall the last time? Right? Matter of fact, let's get that. I'll get that. That's a good direction. Let's go to Revelation 13:3, going straight to the point. And it says, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. So this head that was wounded, all right, is speaking about the Roman Empire. All right. The Roman Empire was wounded, as I spoke about. When you read that, you can read that in 2nd Ezra, the 11th chapter, going into the 12 feathers, dealing with Julius Caesar, the Pompey, Crassus, Caligulus, Nero, etc., etc., etc. I'm just naming off some of the Caesars. That was going into when they were wounded and they fell. All right. But as it says, it was wounded unto death, but it was healed, and it was healed. That's why we're here. Like I said, when you're dealing with the scriptures, technically speaking, we're in the last leg of the Roman Empire. There is no such thing as America. America is just a title but the Lord, in the biblical sense, is known as Babylon the Great, which the last leg of the Roman Empire, which is the fourth beast, is also the Babylon the Great. All right, they're all one and the same. Okay, so again, that womb that was wounded unto death is healed. We're here, but it's about to be completely taken out this time. All right, so now let's get a few more scriptures. Like I said, I don't really have I didn't have a list. I just wanted to jump and do a lesson real quick. Let's go to you know what? I haven't went into that in the law. Let's go to that real quick. We can run through that real quick. Let's go to Daniel. All right. Bear with me 1 second. Bear me 1 second. Ezra's, Maya, Job. Where you at, Daniel? Bear me 1 second. All right, give me 1 second. We're gonna go to Daniel. Two and 31. No, Daniel 2 and 40. Hold on. Yeah, this is Daniel 2 and 40, and it says, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh into pieces and subdueth all things. And that's beautiful. This represents again the Roman Empire. All right. Basically, really at this point, the ancient Roman Empire, because really we're in the modernized version of Rome, the Roman Empire, in the 10 toes at this point. All right, we've gone down to the we're at the toe parts. All right, but the still want the fourth kingdom. All right, this ties into Revelation, the 13th chapter. Now, when you're dealing with iron is a weapon of war. So like I say, the gold was the head, and they were known for their decadence. Now, when you're dealing with think about that. If you gave your woman, how would your woman feel if you came home with an iron necklace or a gold necklace? Right. Now, I think about our Jake down there in New Orleans. They don't call guns. Every area got a name for guns, right? But Jake down there, they call it that iron. So iron is used to make weapons. It's hard. Okay. So the Roman Empire's army is still renowned. A lot of what you see in the American military is based off of the Roman Empire. Rome had a standing army. Rome had a navy. Hell, if Rome had the technology, Rome would have had Air Force as well. All right, it had its Marines, its mighty men, and its soldiers. Okay, this is what was going on. So it's the same thing. Now, I want to make this point before I forget it again. What caused the ancient Roman Empire to fall as well? Their military was spread thin. The same thing that's going on here. So don't be surprised if you see the other side start doing moves to weaken the United States' military's grips on the world. See, right now, the United States military got to focus in on Ukraine and Russia, Israel and the Middle East. They got to worry about, now this is where I'm saying, don't be surprised if you see China go ahead and move in on Taiwan. Now they got to worry about Taiwan and backing them. Those are three wars that should have everybody paying attention. So then what happens if something break out here? You done sent out 100,000 of your troops to the Middle East, 100,000 of your troops to Ukraine border over there, all right, near Turkey and Ukraine and that whole area, all right, Turkestan and all that. Then you got over there in the Pacific Sea, all right, over there with China and Taiwan and North Korea, okay. I don't give a fuck about who you think you are, man. That's a lot of space to cover, man. And the one thing about war is war is about being tactical, moving shit around. All right. That's why, again, be prepared for the draft. There's not enough soldiers in the world to be able to manage what the hell the United States Army is about to get themselves into, or the military as a whole, okay? So let's keep going here. We're going to close up here after this. And it says, and subdued all things, and as iron breaketh all things, all these shall it break in pieces and bruise. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of iron. And for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part iron and of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And that's the point. That's what we're seeing. Look at the this is why it's important to understand the 7 heads and the 10 horns. All right. That's your what is that? That's you have your Greeks, your Romans, you have your British, your Spaniards, right? The French, Germania Major and Germania Minor. That's your 7 heads. All right. And on the 10 heads, that's the longer list. I don't have that in front of me. You know, I can get it, but I'm not going to do that right now. You have your 10 heads as well, which some of the 10 are also part of the 7 as well. But that's expanded to what we know today as the European Union, all right, the EU, all right, and the NATO. That's why it's important to understand these things, because you'll understand that some of these pieces are weak and some of these pieces are strong. I just seen a video the other day, and I'm going to close up here, where the French were ripping up the EU flag. And they were just flagging because the French, I believe, just recently left the EU. So there's already that split. And then when you look at the France, see, that's another thing too, is that it's not just American Edomites that's being exposed right now for being the devil or being vile and not being seen as a golden cup. The scriptures do speak about Babylon has been a golden cup, but all of these countries and these heads gave power unto the whore. Right? Now, think about that. The French, when you look at videos of France and Paris and Italy, these places are shit. These are shit countries. All right? The UK is not that strong. There you got certain pieces that are strong, and then certain pieces are not strong at all. Certain pieces like Germany is a strong piece. All right? Greece is not a small piece. You had the pigs. Those were the Portugals, Ireland, Greece, and I want to say Spain. Those countries were defaulting on. They were one of the first countries to start defaulting on loans and having to take austere measures. Okay, so again, I'm gonna close up here. I got to go into the store, but like I said, I wanted to just touch on the fact that understand. All out war, yams, Salakia. All out war could break loose in this world in less than between 90 and 145 days. And I give it time. Like I said, we're not, now if somebody get fucking crazy, that could change some things. But until we see some real outlandish, crazy shit, like not these just drone attacks, not these, whatever. Now, we talking about some devastation. I think that we really got about 100 and all out. I'm just going to say it like that. Through the spirit, all out war could break loose out in the world. World War III could be completely in full effect by the spring. All right. Hey, so with that, I want to close up. I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakwadash. I'm going to give double honors unto my apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and safety to all the sincere Akim. That's how I push this word in truth and in all sincerity. Shalom. All right, shalom.